There's a very common question that good pool players get all the time, and they give the same answer to all the time. But the answer is almost never accepted by the person asking the question. And the question is, what can I do to get good fast? That's a legitimate question. And so the player gives them the answer. And the reason they don't accept it is because it sounds like a hustle. And I guess in some cases it probably is. But the reason it's such a common answer is because it's true. And so the answer is play better players. Play players who are better than you. And so the reason it's not accepted is because, the person asking the question is like, yeah, right, you're just trying to get in my pocket. They all say the same thing. And again, the reason they say the same thing is because it's true. But it's the reason you get good faster, or much faster than you would if you didn't do it, isn't what you think it is. It's not that you're sitting there learning. You can sit and watch pros play all day, and the learning that you're doing is pretty minimal. Although your brain might know it, you're also dealing with your body, and just because your brain knows what to do does not mean your body can do what it knows to do. The reason that you can get better faster by playing people who are better than you is because it's more of a mental thing than anything else. And it's just a simple fact that you know that if you miss, you're going to lose. So there's some kind of trigger in your brain that says, okay, I'm going to pay a heavy price if I miss. So let's not miss. And even though you know that, it doesn't really keep you from missing unless you stick with it, unless you come back day after day and play that guy. Because at some point in there of coming back and playing them and getting your ass kicked and going home and cussing yourself out and coming back and playing them, somewhere in that loop you learn the best way not to miss is to keep everything simple. To keep from moving that cue ball all over the table. Do not take chances on this guy who's going to whoop you. So you finally, your brain and your body finally connects and it gets it. It's like, I'm not going to draw that ball 4 rails because all I have to do is stop it right there on that rail and I'm in perfect shape to get on the next ball. It finally understands how to keep the game simple. So it's a mental thing. So if you're playing guys you know you can beat every day, and just whooping them and whooping it, that might be good for your ego, but it's not good for your pool game because you know that you don't have to give it your best. You don't have to get your head in it. You can beat this guy all day long and not even try. And that is actually hurting your pool game because you're going to start repeating bad mental and physical mistakes. They become ingrained habits and they're hard to break. So yeah, it's a mental thing. It's all mental. Well, you won't believe the percentage of the human mind that the game takes. It's almost all mental. Once your body can do things, and your brain knows how to do it, and your body can do it, but you're still not playing up to par. It's all mental. A long, long time ago, way back in the 1800s, years and years and years and years ago, back in the dinosaur days, I played this guy 9-ball every day, and we started playing one miss, ball in hand. You miss, the other guy gets ball in hand. And I'm like, I don't know how old I was, 16, 17 years old, something like that. And yeah, and the old guys didn't like this. We hung out at a place with a bunch of old guys in South Philadelphia. And they didn't like us messing with the game and changing the rules and all. But it was just me and him, and we were going to do it anyway. And so yeah, we started playing one miss ball in hand, and that did something. That changed my whole game, because I started not playing sloppy, not doing things, because I knew if I missed, I didn't have to get bad shape. If I missed the ball, I was screwed. The guy, he was going to run out. He was going to run out every single time. So I finally stopped missing balls. And in order to stop missing balls, I had to really, 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 truly get my head in this game. It wasn't just my ego anymore that was getting shattered. It was driving me bananas. And so everything was about learning. And that took so much of just being. A bomb could have dropped on the pool room and I'd be the last person to know. I was all there every time I played that guy. And my game level just shot through the roof. The old guys couldn't believe how good I was getting by playing this guy. And that guy was also getting good, because then every time he screwed up, he could not screw up on position, because if he did, he was going to miss and he'd have to swing crazy at it. And so it forced you to no longer want to do stupid shit. To no longer say, I can make this ball lay long, I'll just go 4 rails and bounce off that ball. And that's when your game goes to hell, when you start doing crazy shit. So it's like, okay, well, instead of getting there, let's get right here. And now, not only can you make the ball, but it's an easier shot, and you can get better position on the next ball. And it's usually playing center table strategy too. I went over that a few times in my videos, and I'll go over it again if you want me to. Yeah, it was all about not kicking myself in the ass, kicking myself in the brain. It became a real something. It became something I wanted more than anything in the world, and I was willing to take my whoopings to get it, because I could. Once you start progressing and you can see your own progression, that inspires you to keep doing whatever the hell it is. And you can get real self-destructive here. It inspires you to keep doing what you're doing that's keeping you progressing, because there's no end to that. Even the pros are progressing every day. They're out there hitting balls and learning and learning and learning and learning. So once you can see that progression, that is more inspiring than anything you will do, including winning money, winning tournaments, or anything else. If you can see yourself getting better every day, there's no end to that. You can play with the big boys if you keep doing it, and you know that. So that's what you keep doing, and I kept coming back and saying, okay, let's play. And then I got better than that. And then he didn't want to play anymore. So now I'm looking for opponents to play this game, one missed ball in hand, which nobody wanted. I couldn't find a single person in Philadelphia that wanted to play this way. So I went back to playing regular 9-ball. And then my progression slowed down, because at that point my level of concentration was so high and so all there, that the guys that I thought were good years ago weren't anywhere near the level I thought they were. It's just that I didn't have anything to make it relative, and now I did. So I knew what was really, really, really good and what wasn't. Most of the time, the players that really are truly good, your local shortstops and such, aren't going to play you for free, and there's a valid reason for that, and it's because they paid their dues, and they feel as if it's your turn to pay your dues, and they're not just going to give it to you. They got good by taking their ass whoopings, by losing their money, by grinding it out, and by giving it everything they have. and you just want to come along and take it, and it's, basically wasting their time. And that's why, people think that they're just saying what they're saying to hustle people, and it's just not true. They're saying it because it's the truth. If you do find someone, he doesn't have to be super great, but as long as he's a little bit better than you, and he is willing to play you for free, then don't be a dick about it, and buy his beer, or pay for his, his table time, or befriend him and be, be grateful. A lot of people just go through life just taking and taking and taking and expecting people to keep giving to them. And, it's, they're going to stop giving it to you. So just do something, Don't be a dick. There's enough dicks in pool. So what does all that have to do with this video? And actually a lot, but I'm not going to get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it, and this is a different kind of pool video than you see on YouTube. And I need you to let me know in the comments if you want me to keep going with this format, or just go back to the other way, or do something else, or whatever. You're not into it, or you are into it, and don't be a dick. Click the like, subscribe, share it, man. Yeah. And I ain't begging you. And if you don't like it, and just go away. Go find a video you like, okay? Hey sugar parents, before I shoot each one of these balls, I'm going to ask you how you would shoot it, and I'm going to give you a multiple choice with the graphics and the English and your options that you have to shoot this ball. And then I'm going to proceed to shoot it and see if the one you picked matched up with the one I picked. And that's not to say I always shoot all these balls right. I think there's one in here where I shoot pretty bad and made a bad choice, and I'll tell you when we get there. Alright, we're going all offense here. We're playing one missed ball in hand, so if you miss this one ball or any ball on the table, your opponent gets ball in hand. And this is what we have, and you can pause it here and study the whole rack if you wish, but just for now, we're going to shoot one ball at a time. So we're shooting this one ball, and we're trying to get right on the 2 to get back up table or down table on the 3. How would you shoot this one ball? And here's option A. You could shoot this with left-hand top English and go 3 rails back up on the clean side of the 2. And by clean, I mean no balls are in your way of shooting the 2 or anywhere near your way if you get right on the 2. And here's option B with bottom right, and you're going to bend the cue ball back to the first rail, and that's going to decrease the angle that right-hand English will grab that rail and decrease the angle coming off that first rail, and then just kind of pulls the cue ball back to the short top rail to just bounce off lightly and get a pretty drastic angle on the 2. It's not too bad. It'll work. Is it the best way? I don't know. You tell me. And here is option C with just straight bottom on it, center ball bottom, to just come harder off that first rail and kind of get straighter in on the 2 ball. Do you like it? I don't know. Take your pick because I'm about to shoot it. So if you chose option B, you did what I did, and I believe you did it right. You chose the right thing to do. So if you like that, I would set it up and practice that shot. It's a little bit tricky, a little bit difficult. So this is the position I want it to be on the 2 to get on the 3, and therefore get right on the 4 and back up table a little bit on the 5. Well, why is that? And let's go ahead and cut away to this shot. And here's option A. And this is just shot with straight top to bounce off the left-hand side rail and the right-hand side rail to pretty much get straight in on the 3. Is this your pick to shoot this 2-ball? Let's look at option B. And this is shot with your straight bottom, but you're not trying to draw any ball, you're just trying to stun that cue ball back down table on the right side of the 3. And there's a problem with this, and I'll come back to that problem. And some players might choose to shoot this with top right in order to bank the ball and to get a center table on the 3. If you like this, make a note of it, and we'll go ahead and shoot it.
Bounce off.
Well, I did arch that cue ball a little bit, and the problem with that shot was in hitting the 9-ball, which you can see I did, so I didn't quite arch it enough, but I was a little bit shaky on it because I didn't want to go too far to the right side of the table on the 3. I also knew that if I hit the 9-ball, it wasn't really going to affect much on the shot on the 3-ball because I knew I was going down the table a little bit fast. So if I hit the 9, it would hit it hard enough to bounce everything out of the way, and I'd be right there on the 3. So that's why I chose option B. And here's what we have on the 3-ball. So here's option A, which is just a medium hit with center ball to bounce out, about a diamond and a half off the short rail. To have the right angle on the 4 to get up table on the 5. Here's option B, and that's a shot with bottom left to kind of draw it off that rail and back toward yourself and still have the right angle on the 4 to get up table on the 5. And here's option 3 with top right to just kind of force it to that right hand side rail and get an even bigger angle on the 5 just to kind of avoid that 9-ball on the side and let us come straight back up table. So is it going to be A, B, or C? Take your pick, because here we go.
So you can block it and get over everything. So what you need to do when you hit the stroke is you block it.
So as you can see, I chose option A, center ball, and just keeping it simple, bouncing lightly off that short rail, and I'm out about a diamond and a half with the right angle on the 4 to get on the 5. This is moving pretty quick now. The pace of this video is pretty fast, or faster than I thought it was going to be, because I thought I was going to overanalyze everything, but we're not doing that. So let's go to the 4-ball shot. So option A is to draw spin it back for a shot on the 5 in that top hand right hand corner pocket. And option B is top left to force it to the left hand side rail to bounce off for a shot on the 5-ball in the bottom right hand corner pocket. And option C is just center ball, keeping it simple and pretty much just like that last shot on the 3-ball to just bounce off a little bit for a shot on the 5. So if you chose option C, you are correct, but I came up a little bit short on this and wanted to get a little bit straighter in on that 5, and that's going to determine how I shoot the 5s to get on the 6. But we're going to cross that bridge in a minute. Let's see the graphics. So yeah, we're a little bit further on the left-hand side than I want it to be, but we still have options here. And option A is to kind of just hit it with top, a little bit of top, and just kind of bounce off that side rail to shoot the combination on the 6-7. Option B would be to go up the side rail again at the same angle, but shoot the ball with a little bit of top right and a little bit, actually a lot harder, to come off the top rail, the top short rail, bang into the 7, knock the 7 out of the way, and get a shot on the 6. Option C is the same exact thing as option B, except you're lightening up a lot on how hard you shoot the 5 ball, because you want to come up underneath the 6 to shoot the 6 in the bottom left-hand corner. And in this one we have another option, and that is option D, and that's to spin the dang dickens out of this cue ball and come up and wrap around on the other side. So you tell me, A, B, C, or D. Here we go, Scooby.
No, it's not. I don't really even use my wrist before. If I want to hit.
Bad decision, Johnny.
Well, hell for I never said I was an Alabama pool guy. Sometimes I make mistakes too. Yeah, I make mistakes. Give me a dang break. Alright, if you chose option C to come up in back of the 6 ball and shoot the long shot down in the bottom left-hand corner, you are correct. The shot that I took was a mistake. And if some of you are wondering why option D is not the right shot, let's take a second and I'll show you right here. And the problem with this is in how close that 7 ball, or the position of the 7 ball relative to the 6. And the shot is makeable in that top right-hand corner pocket. But the problem is, in order to shoot that shot, you're going to have to be absolutely dead straight in on the 6. And you have absolutely no margin of error. So if you come up just a hair short of being dead straight in, you're not going to be able to make it. If you come up a little bit long of dead straight in, you're not going to be able to make it. So you have too little of a margin of error. You're just going to have to you're just going to have to hit it absolutely perfect, and nobody's perfect, and you might do that one time out of 100. It's not worth the risk of shooting that shot. So again, the best way to do it is option C, and just get up under that 6 ball and shoot it in the corner pocket down table, and you should easily be able to roll up on the 7 ball. So we did it wrong, and regardless, this is what we're left. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 6 ball shot. Option A is to shoot it with bottom right to bend the cue ball into the 8 ball, which slows down the cue ball and gets the 8 ball off that rail. Option B is to shoot it with bottom left and to shoot a bank and to get the cue ball out the center table for a shot on the 7. Option C is another bank, this time cross side, and you're shooting this with bottom right to go to the top rail and to bounce off and get up underneath for a shot on the 7 in the same side pocket. Yep, I chose option A, and I'm convinced it's the right way, and I know some of you guys are going to disagree with me, but that's okay. Everybody has their own way. Banks are hard, man. I don't like banks. The big thing is that 8 ball had to be moved off that side rail. It was a major issue. Whether you're shooting it down table or up table, you're going to have a serious problem on the 8 ball. The only real way to get on that 8 would be to shoot the 8 down table, hoping that this table is set up right and the ball's not going to bounce off that rail. I'm not in the hoping, so I wanted to take it into my control. The big problem I had on that was not being real super sure about where the 8 was going. A lot of it could have went wrong right there. And I also had the problem of getting the cue ball right on the 7. That was another big issue. But I was pretty sure I could do it if I could hit that 8 ball solid, which I did.
That was pretty cocky.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Alright, let's move on to the 7 ball. Option A is shot to get the cue ball down to the top short rail and to come up on the right hand side of the table for a shot on the 8. You don't want to put left on this, you're going to get bad on the 8 ball, so it's just top center force follow up table. Option B is a 3 railer, and this is done with top left, believe it or not. And this came up in one of my, I think it was a 3-rail video. Anyway, it came up in one of my videos, and it's, the fans love it. If you love it too, go ahead and shoot it. And option 3 is just bend the cue ball back to the right side of the 8-ball. Not the 8-ball line, but, center your table to the right side of the table. And I will take it from there. This is shot with bottom left. And the guys who watch a lot of my videos have a real advantage here. So let's see what I did.
So this is like starting position here in your position.
Well, it kind of stunned itself. I was trying to get further back down the table on that 8-ball. And I probably dropped my shoulder to the last second, and I hit center ball by accident. But this is what we're left with. Then option A is shot with an absolute ton of top left-hand English to reverse the natural angle off the 8-ball and just kind of spin the hell out of it to the left-hand side and to get on the 9. Option B is shot relatively hard with top right to go all the way back up table and a little halfway back down table to get pretty much straight in. Not exactly straight in, but that'd be good position on the 9 if you want to shoot it that way. Option C is a finesse shot with all right-hand English. Do not put bottom English unless you will scratch. And you're just spinning the hell out of the cue ball just so to decrease that angle coming off that first rail and sending it on a sharper angle towards center table for a decent shot on the 9. So which one you like, Scooby? A, B, or C? You better hurry up. Come on, come on. Now seriously, if you guys need more time on these, just click pause and go back 10 seconds and study it and figure out what you need to figure out before you make your pick. Then push play again.
Now, you can use some more video right there.
I'm very finesseful.
Dude, shut up.
Oh, yeah. 9-ball shot, just cinch it. Don't come anywhere near a scratch and you're okay. You don't have to get shape on anything, you're done. You guys want to see the whole playback without other cuts and rambling? Let's do it.